Right, hello. So last episode where I did the back testing, we actually had no audio, which is very good. Um, yeah, let's do a trade recap on today. So overall, just to let you know, I didn't take a trade, okay? But I think these days are the most important. So Forex Factory, today we had no heavy impact news, okay? Now we see this, right? Let's ignore this for now. Okay. So going on to the daily, right? Daily analysis. What do we see? So we have a bearish Ferrari gap on the daily here on Enki, and we have a much larger one on Yes. Okay. Now, what was I expecting? Bullish. Kind of bullish movement or a price to run into here, and then we continue lower. Okay. We see that this candle didn't get broken through, so therefore I was looking to be kind of bullish, right? Um, what else does it say? Also, you have this internal low, this internal low. Obviously, the candle did not get broken through, so we're looking for a retracement into this area, right? Cool. Um, on the 4 hour, let's have a look at the 4 hour. Um, let's actually skip. Um, why are we not skipping? What's going on? Do we not want to get some price action? What is going on? Hello? Um, okay. Oh, I think I'm a dumbass. Right. Cool. So we were at like this candle here. Right. So on the 4 hour, we can see that this 4 hour bullish value gap gets respected on both assets. Okay. And we have key levels above that area, right? Including previous day's high. Okay. Actually, just zoom in more. So we have price respecting the bullish gap. We have previous day's high and the 4 hour bearish gap as well as the daily, right? It's timed, right? Overall, we're looking to see a run into this area and look for shorts into key level swing lows, right? If we get a manipulation leg down at New York AM, it could be ideal to take a long into that bearish PDA area, right? So here. On the 1 hour, we can see, just quickly, yeah, on the 1 hour, there are bearish areas that get disrespected. So this one here, very small but valid. But then here we have obviously a respect, okay? So obviously you can't just always trust what we see on the very, very left side, right? Yeah, uh, body just about comes in. Here we have a gap. Here we have a gap. Okay, so on the 1 hour, there are bearish areas that get disrespected. We have a decent amount of swing lows on the hourly, right? So many, right? Loads of liquidity, right? ES has relatively equal highs just before the daily PDO. Um, this is a level that I will continue to look at heavily, right? This area I'm interested in. So pre-market open. So let's go into the 15-minute. What do we see? We have coming into the morning. So let's actually just skip through. We see, let's look at London, right? So London, let's actually mark it out. 2 a.m. right here to one more candle. Bang. Dish. Okay. So you see for in London, right? Let me actually change the color on this. So we have do that, do that. 2 2 5. We see London causes a small rally, right? We have a little bit of a rally, right? But it did not hit a key level, right? So my guess was this would be a New York reversal, right? So London fails to reach a key level. New York will hit the key level, aka here, right? And then reverse lower, right? Is what the ideal scenario would be. Okay. So from midnight open, we see that price actually continues to move higher, which is what we want to see if we're bearish. So if we're move higher before we go lower, right? So we manipulate before we distribute. Okay. And obviously we also know that price must, like I said, price must be higher before it goes lower. Institutional traders would want to sell at a premium, right? It's logic. Okay, let's get rid of these. Get rid of that. Okay. Let's just skip through. So is this okay? Let's actually go back a little bit. So let's go to here. We can see that on the 5 minute we just have consolidation, right? Pairing. We see after this low being made, we can just see straight consolidation. What time frame is this? I should be careful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can just see we're just straight up accumulating on both pairs, right? And as a little rally, we create a high, and we just have a consolidation. Okay. So I marked out the range. So buy side here, the sell side here. Sell side here, buy side here. Sorry, this is the actual range. Ignore that. Below here, we'll see that is technically also the range. Anyway, so my 3 views were price manipulates, taking out accumulation highs, so rallies up here, okay, reaching into the daily bearish gap, and then distributing lower, okay. So price would manipulate, come in here, distribute lower, okay. That was the first view. Second view, price displaces through the highs, okay, reaching into the daily bearish, and then distributing lower, which is quite literally the same exact thing. I don't know what the fuck I just. All right, whatever. Or price manipulates lower into this hourly gap, okay, taking out areas of sell side liquidity. So here, 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 right, and then rallying higher into the daily bearish gap, okay. Now, let's have a look at what happens on 8:30. 1, 2, 3, 4. It opens here. All right, so we're opened, and we can see that we still remain within the consolidation area, right? So what I was doing, I was just waiting for 9:30 to open up and see what the volume injection actually does, okay? So let's actually see what price does. Bang, right? So it actually stabs through, right? Stabs into the hourly bullish hourly gap. Sells liquidity also gets taken, right? So I'm thinking this might be the manipulation leg, and we might distribute higher, okay? Now, I'm waiting to see if price will actually displace through or if this is a liquidity sweep. So I'm looking at the gap as well as these lows, right? On the 50-minute. See if it displaces through this outer gap or not, okay? ES has not yet taken out the range low, which is what I said at the time, but obviously looking at this candle, we can see that it does, right? Like I said, obviously just continue to wait, right? Stay patient, okay? See, this is the exact point that it breaks through. So we'll see when we skip through. Price takes out the low, okay? See price takes the low on the ES, and it looks like it's filling in what it looked like was that it was reaching into the Audi gap and respecting it. What was on the Audi time frame here? Let's go in the Audi. We can see price plummets through it completely, okay? So it actually does not end up respecting it, okay? So I mentioned here that price actually moves below, okay? Price actually moves below the bullish gap, but we have an order block on the Audi, right? So I was looking, let me actually check. Is it here? Yeah, I was looking at this order block. I wanted to see price get respected, right? Same as this one, but obviously you ran through, so we're looking at this one. Now, if we get a change in change in the state of delivery, right here, okay, because we took out the high, and that's our change in state of delivery. If we see price move displace through it, then we're looking for shorts, right? And our targets would be here and here, right? That's what I was thinking about it really. Same thing here. So we have change state delivery on the 15-minute. Let's have a look at 15-minute. Yeah, right here, starting. Yeah. So price was to displace through. We're looking for areas to go short. Okay. Now, did I just repeat the same thing? Yeah. Okay. So obviously we have a high that gets swept here. It doesn't even get swept. I'd say it's actually displacement through, and it's more of a retracement. So I wasn't going to validate this as a change in state delivery. However, we can see that price actually taps back into this order block, making it a breaker, and we can see price moving a tad bit lower. Okay. We can see prior to 9:30 even actually opening, we start the decline. 9:30 does the sort of, we see a little reversal, okay, before continuing lower, right? So before 9:30 even opens, we have this large move down, okay? Large move down on both pairs, right? Um, with New York AM, right? Uh, ES, okay, takes out midnight lows, right? So we sweep midnight lows, okay, we can see that. Um, and also looks like ES will have an SMT on the lows from last week. So we can see Friday at 340. NQ sweeps it, right? Sweep. Whereas ES has an SMT, right? I didn't want to see displacement below these lows. Otherwise, it could look to be like a short day, right? This was the sort of plan for a trade, but obviously, I don't think I would have entered on this because it wouldn't have had enough confidence, right? I wanted a 5 minute change of the state delivery, and the closest one is here, okay, right here. Have a look. That is the earliest one, okay, because we sweep, and that's the kind of bearish order block, right? If we have a change in the state of delivery above here, then we can actually look for longs into this area, right? Which is valid. I'm not in this. This was just a markup, and it's most likely going to get stopped out because we can actually see that we're getting close into the change to state delivery, right? This is just a manipulation higher to fill in, I think it was a 15-minute gap. Yes, we've got a 15-minute gap. Do we have an hourly? We don't have an hourly yet, but price will actually, I think, go up higher and then you can see lower, right? That's what it looks like price is doing. It's a bank holiday, man. This is weird shit. This is weird, weird price action. Especially when we have this bearish gap. So, let's quickly just look at the report. My dumbass didn't even look at the economic calendar properly, right? Today is a bank holiday. So learning my lessons from last time, I took a trade on a bank holiday. I will not take a trade today, right? Because the market, as we can see, is just not really offering anything clean, right? We had a large move that was before New York open. We have maybe a manipulation leg into a retracement and then continue lower. But once again, I'm not taking a trade. Okay, I'm not taking a trade. So there aren't really any lessons learned today as we didn't take a trade. However, looking at the market, we can see London moved higher. Okay, London moved higher, but did not reach any key levels on the higher time frame. Prior to New York opening, we had a massive dump at around 8:30. I know that 8:30 a.m. is, let me just correct my spelling mistakes, is New York open, but the market volatility injection begins at 9:30 as the New York Stock Exchange opens, right? Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing where the market wants to move away from the daily bearish rally at first, intentionally on this bank holiday day, right? This could result in Monday forming the low of the week, okay, and an overall rally into the rest of the week, right? I really do want to see that daily bearish rally gap getting hit this week as it formed last week, okay? So realistically, check the daily. I want to see price actually come in here and then maybe continue lower, right? That would be fair. If this low gets broken through, then obviously we are expecting bearish price action. But yeah, so hold on, let me just quickly pull it back up. So, so let's actually zoom into this picture. So we see, all right, as the closing picture, price taps into that daily bullish rally gap again on NQ, right? Yep, taps into it right here and does not have a change to state delivery, right? We do not get it, okay? We do not see enough displacement through it. We get very close and price reacts away, moving a bit higher, right? Obviously, this is all in present time and can actually travel lower and displace with that change the state delivery. In that case, the inner target I can see is an external low on the daily. So let's actually look at that, which would be this low and this low, right? And then we also have these lows, okay? So we can see that price actually we are rallying low on the daily, right? We're in a bit of a downtrend, okay? Yeah, so like I said, no today due to bank holiday. Let's hope for a nice price action tomorrow, okay? That's what I'm kind of interested in. I really want to see that daily gap get filled in, right? But yeah, it looks like we're actually going to get a change in the state delivery, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, then in that case, we're actually going to probably take out these lows prior to reaching into this daily gap, right? Because we have a lot. Look at the amount of imbalance, such a fat amount of imbalance, right? Right. We even have this one at the top. Maybe I should mark that out for future reference. Okay. So, yeah, I hope that kind of market market analysis helps. But yeah, we can see we're actually kind of accumulating here. So that's that. Don't really have a lot else to say. This place we're probably gonna go through. But yeah, I'm not taking any trades whatsoever. I'm gonna just read the market. We can see or see if my dumbass took a trade like that here. I'm actually gonna get something. Very good. But yeah, that's that. If you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys tomorrow, right? Uploads every day, Monday to Friday, even Saturday, Sunday, potentially if you guys are lucky, right? And I want to back test. And if I hit fucking record on a microphone, I'm not a dumbass. Okay, that's that. Cool. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.